Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Keep the house. Keep it all.
So,
Just keep the house.
it's mine. No one else can have it. I received a message from Frankie at Briss Frankie on Twitter. She sent me a message. I love her for sending this to me. This is my brand working. It's magic. Frankie, recently, because of how much I talk about Zac Efron on this podcast, went and watched High School Musical 1 to 3 and enjoyed them.
Yeah, but they're fine films.
So, Frankie's fantastic. So she tweeted, she messaged saying, "Hey Liam, if you would like a question to answer for the next podcast, would be happy to hear your thoughts on the next Efron film I should check out now I've seen the High School Musical films. Happy for you to talk about all of his films."
No.
We don't have... I mean, I think that would make this episode way too long.
And I'd just cut it out.
But also, recommend from what I currently have available on my streaming services, as I can't purchase any for now. So the films available are...
Don't list them all. Just tell her what film you recommend.
No, because she also wants you to recommend. So you need to know what the options are.
I only know, like, 3 of his films.
So here's the options. There's We Are Your Friends.
Yeah, that one.
Which we have culture swapped. We did when the Zack Attack guys came on.
Yep, watch that one.
That is also on YouTube. So if you want to hear our thoughts on that...
Oh, I thought you meant the film was on YouTube, and I was like, don't advertise YouTube piracy.
No, our culture swap for that is on YouTube. So if you want to hear our thoughts, go to that. There's Dirty Grandpa. My review for that is on YouTube.
I haven't seen it.
A lot of people hated it when it came out.
You don't need to go into it, because you're not recommending it.
I might be.
You said your review's on YouTube.
I really enjoyed it.
You just said you didn't like it.
No, I did. That's what I said.
They did. Other people didn't.
A lot of people hated it. I really liked it. But I would be hesitant to recommend it for that reason, just because so many people really did hate it. There was 17 again, which is kind of like... I think this
You're
came
going
out...
into too much detail, and I swear to you, I will cut this out.
I'm just letting you know. I'm giving you hint.
I don't...
information.
Yeah. You're not reviewing every Zac Efron
No, I'm not.
film.
I'm giving
you can do it in a special. Just breeze through them.
Let me finish this bit.
Just breeze.
I'll breeze through the
them.
rest. 17 again came out, I think, between High School Musical 2 and 3, so it's still like quite young Zac Efron, but not like super young Zac Efron. Then we've got Charlie St. Cloud, which is also from that period of time.
Irrelevant.
Are We Officially Dating, which threw me, but that is a different title. The actual title that we're aware of that film is That Awkward Moment. Have you seen that one? That was one of you that I thought you might have seen. Okay, then there's the Lucky One, which is when Zac Efron were really playing into his heartthrob type thing. It's sort of based off of a Nicholas Sparks movie, so sort of like The Notebook and all that sort of stuff, The Vow. And then there's The Paperboy, which is the one where Nicole Kidman does a wee on him.
I've heard about that one.
Yeah. And then Frankie said, "I realise I could just read your letterbox reviews, but would prefer to hear you chat about them, which is why I'm talking about them." She also said, "Not sure if Ellie has seen many. If so, would like her thoughts too. I would say sorry to her for even more Efron talk, but I guess she's well used to it now, just from being your friend."
I am, but that doesn't stop me complaining.
And Frankie said, also, she checked Amazon, and we can add Baywatch to the list of those that she has available.
Oh, fair enough.
Which, I don't know if you've seen or not.
I haven't, but I actually do want to see that one.
So,
but that you've also reviewed on the podcast before.
Yeah. And there's a special on Amanda's podcast where me and Amanda really deep dived into Baywatch.
So which one of those, Liam, would you recommend?
Well, which one would you recommend first?
We Are Your Friends. It's the only one I can recommend in good conscience, because I think it's the only one I'd seen.
Okay, for me, my personal favourite of those would have been Dirty Grandpa, but like I said, lots of people didn't like it, so I would instead recommend 17 again, because Frankie enjoyed the High School Musical trilogy. This is still Zac Efron from around that era, so I think give that a go. It's got Matthew Perry in it.
Yeah, it's the one where they swap bodies, right?
Yeah. If not, I would say Baywatch, but again, for me, it's Zac Efron, it's The Rock, it's two of my favourite men. A lot of people didn't like it. I loved it.
They're wearing swim trunks, and Liam gets to stare at Zac Efron's body.
And they get all wet.
Honestly, I'm not even joking, listeners. When I said Liam gets to stare at their body, his face, honest to God, just lit up. He was so happy remembering that he could see their bodies.
Also, there's a scene in Baywatch with Zac Efron in drag.
Oh, okay, good.
It's fantastic.
Cool.
So those would be my recommendations. Frankie, if you do go off and watch those, please do write in and let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because it's more of an excuse for me to talk about Zac Efron.
Yeah, Liam will love it because it's an excuse to talk. I will like it because it means we've got listener correspondence, which is always good.
Yeah. So I saved one of my catching up withs for housekeeping because we had a lot of correspondence based off of this.
Yeah.
Ellie, last episode you gave me a punishment.
Yes. For listeners that didn't listen, just go listen to it. But Liam failed to get his unwatched movie list down below his target of 1,091.
Yeah.
So he got punished. His punishment was he had to watch 5 films, which I got to pick out of that pile in the order I gave him. And he's done it, I believe.
Yeah, all 5 are now done.
How was it?
Okay, so let's start with Jupiter Ascending. Now, I don't think we got any tweets about that when I watched it, but Amanda did later say to me, I think she tweeted that she really enjoyed that film. It got a bit of a feminist following from what I can understand when it came out.
Wasn't that Amanda was saying it was a good film?
No.
But she was saying it's the best women's representation in science fiction that's ever happened.
Pretty much, yeah.
It was along those lines, right?
She linked me to an article which is titled Jupiter Ascending is the sci-fi film, is the sci-fi movie women were waiting for, and Amanda said identify a lot with this article. There were several going around at the time about how the movie was our garbage from women sci-fi fans. They were aware that it was garbage, but it was their garbage. Where have you seen Jupiter Ascending?
No, I'm probably going to watch it.
Alright, so Mila Kunis plays this main character, and it's revealed that she's this princess or something, and she's whisked off on this space adventure. Channing Tatum plays half human, half wolf.
Yeah, is he like a space werewolf?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I thought it was just garbage. I'll be honest, I gave it 2 out of 5. Eddie Redmayne's in it, and he just I'm not the biggest fan of him anyway, but he really he goes crazy with the role. He plays the villain in it, and he just chews the scenery like no one's business. Weren't for me, but Amanda liked it, and Frankie also responded saying, I'm with you on this. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting when I saw it. I still don't get the love for Tatum though. And Channing Tatum is someone that, again, Zac Attack guys have the Magic Mike's podcast. I've been on that to talk about Step Up 2.
Yep.
I like Channing Tatum personally, so I was surprised to see Amanda and Frankie not big fans of his, but still enjoying Jupiter Ascending. So that was my first punishment film. Second one, to the surprise of no one, this got no interaction on Twitter, but it was Laser Mission, which didn't get any...
Actually, you sent me a couple of clips of,
yeah.
And to be fair, I do want to see it.
I think we should watch it together at some point.
Yeah.
That, for me, 2.5 out of 5. Only issue, there were 0 lasers in that film. I don't know why it's called Laser Mission.
Great.
Next, this is the one that we probably got the most interaction. It was Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So
it turns out a bunch of people are very nostalgic about the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, I was tweeting about watching it. Then Dan, that night, ended up buying it on Xbox or something and watching it and live tweeting it, which was just glorious. I really enjoyed following along to Dan's live tweets. We also had Will Powell at Save Us WP. He tweeted us saying, Godspeed, Liam, this film is absolutely awful. In all honesty, that's when Dan then started chiming in, saying, oh shit, there is a place in my heart for this. And Will said, I guess it's a bit like my love for Street Fighter or The Room, so bad it's good. I think Dan doesn't agree with that. I think Dan just thinks it's a genuinely good film.
Well, Dan is broken.
Yeah.
I love the boy, but he's broken.
My response to that was, it is terrible, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
It's to me. So if Amanda's saying Jupiter Ascending is our garbage, Super Mario Bros is sort of my garbage. I definitely watched it as a kid.
How? Oh yeah, because you're an Italian plumber in New York.
No, but I mean
fight dinosaurs.
It's the sort of garbage that I can get on board with. Is what I mean by that.
Yeah, but that's not what people mean when they say Jupiter Ascending is our garbage. They're talking about it from a feminist viewpoint of there not being much good women representation in sci-fi films.
I would argue that Super Mario Bros. Is not a good representation of the Super Mario Brothers in films.
No, it isn't. And it's also not good. It's not.
No, the thing
you're not being represented.
Yeah. Okay, I don't identify with it or anything. I just mean
you can't appropriate. Stop appropriating things Amanda says because you get in trouble because you use them wrong.
I do. But okay, let me explain what I mean by that. By that is, I am aware it's garbage, but it's my sort of garbage that I enjoy.
Yes.
There we go.
Don't, just because that sounds similar to what Amanda said, that's not what she was saying. So don't get yourself confused.
Dan tweeted us a lot about Super Mario Brothers. I am not going to read all of his tweets out.
No. Are there any highlights in there?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. But what is better is just reading Dan's live tweets of the film.
That's fair, yeah. So just go follow Dan Palmer's live tweets.
Yeah.
From it.
I also apparently need to watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because I haven't seen that.
Yes, I saw that coming up in the mentions there.
Yeah. Okay. Next was Fantastic Four. Did you watch this one?
No, never seen it. I was going to when it first came out, but then it immediately got so much hate backlash that I was like, I'm alright.
I don't think you're my... Right.
I think I will not like it because it's not... Because I like Fantastic Four, the characters.
Fair enough. I liked this because of the cast that were in it. So it's got Miles Teller, who I'm a fan of. And honestly, that's why I own this film, is because I like Miles Teller. It's got Michael B. Jordan, who I'm a big fan of. It's got Kate Mara, Jamie Bell, all these people I like. So I think from what I was reading, the criticism that Fantastic Four was getting is that they don't really get their powers until like an hour into the film. And it's a bit more of a character... I don't want to say character study. That is definitely not accurate. But it is more about the characters and bringing them together and the backstory there. I enjoyed it, I'll be honest. Like, yeah, the final act and the big bad and all that sort of stuff, it essentially is debris swirling around a big glowing light in the sky. Like, we've seen that.
Sorry, is it another fucking cloud?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So we've seen that before. But this also came out before a lot of that stuff was happening, because that happened in like Suicide Squad and something else.
But that was how Fantastic Four 2.
Oh, okay.
That was what they fucked up, because they did Galactus as the giant cloud.
Right, yeah, this is probably similar-ish to that, maybe.
Which is that's what surprised me, was that it's another Fantastic Four movie with a cloudish sort of villain.
Yeah. Well, it's Doctor Doom is the one that's creating all this stuff. Honestly,
they never do Doctor Doom, right? I think that's the other reason I won't like it, is because Doctor Doom in the comic books is my favourite Marvel villain. He's so well done, and they've never done him justice on film.
That's fair enough. Honestly, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this. I gave Fantastic Four like 3.5 out of 5.
That's quite high.
And then there was The Bye-Bye Man, which also...
Because this was all in descending... I'd sorted your films based on their average rating, and this was the worst one on your list that wasn't like a sequel or one that I was like, oh, I'm not going to give it to him because he'll just be annoyed. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I bought this because I thought there was an actress in it who I liked, and then turns out I've got the film wrong.
I think I've watched YouTube descriptions of this film because I was like, I'm never going to watch it.
Yeah. The thing is,
summary.
The lore behind the villain in it is kind of interesting, but the film doesn't really dive into it. It's just stuff that you kind of I was reading afterwards.
Yeah.
And then like the actual execution of the villain in the film is not good. He doesn't look particularly scary. He has this weird like CGI demon dog with him, which is just terrible.
Oh, yeah.
The idea behind the film, right, which is that the tagline and like the thing that keeps being repeated is "Don't think it, don't say it." As soon as you think of the name The Bye-Bye Man, he essentially comes to like haunt you and kill you. And anyone that you've told, it's a bit like there's a good urban legend behind this, I think, or like there could be, but it's just it opens interestingly, and I didn't mind it for like maybe the first half hour, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. This was the worst film out of the 5 that you made me watch. This was a 1.5 out of 5. Did not enjoy it.
Good, maybe you'll learn, and you won't fuck up this year.
So, what's the goal for this year?
Well, Liam, the goal this year was a goal that you set of your own volition.
Yeah.
You need to get below 1,000 films. Last episode, you were like, I've just got to do, I think it was
10 a month.
2 a week?
10 a month.
10 a month. That's it, 10 a month, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would get you below that number.
Yeah.
Which is currently 1,122.
Yeah.
We know that number's gone down 5.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
What's the number that you're starting the year off on?
1,115.
Look at you, buddy.
So, to keep on track, I still need to watch another... I mean, this month was always going to be harder because the 10 a month would only work if I started at 1,120, and I started, like you said, a bit above that.
Yeah, so you're going to have to catch up in some months.
Yeah, I've got to be on track. I need to maybe watch 5 more this month, and we've still got like a week. It's doable. And then I just need to stay on track and not buy films, which I've done a really good job of this month.
Yes, but you're going to get to the end of the year, and then you're going to fuck it all up.
We'll see.
The best thing about this, Liam, is that my favourite thing you do is setting yourself like a mini goal, because what inevitably happened last year, and we all saw it coming, was you were very confident as you got closer and were getting it down, and the moment you slipped up, your brain does a thing where it just goes, fuck it, I can't do it. Even though the week that you went, I can't do this, you were only like 3 away, and you were like, I can't do it, which was stupid.
I know.
So by setting yourself mini goals, the moment you don't do it this month, like if you don't watch 5 films, I think your brain's just going to go, well, it's fucked. Can't fucking do it. And then you'll buy a bunch of films, and then you'll regret it.
So here's what I think, and I can't figure out the right way of doing this, but I actually found you giving me these 5 films to watch quite helpful, because it meant that I didn't have to think about what to watch next. So I don't know if maybe I need like a stretch goal, where like every time I hit my 10 for the month, you then get to give me like a film to watch or something, just so I can just keep on getting this number down. And it also helps me in watching films that I maybe wouldn't choose to watch.
I mean, I'm fine with that if you want me to help with that.
I would like our listeners to write in to see if they can figure out a way where this would actually be helpful, or if you can think of a way this could actually be helpful. But I think there should be something where
pick one.
Every now and again you get to pick something that I watch, and I think that might help.
Okay, well, like I said, I am genuinely down for that.
Yeah, but if this does have a better idea of how that could work, I mean, we had some suggestions for what my punishment should be this year that were downright evil.
Oh yeah, the listeners are mean.
The listeners who are also your friends are the meanest.
Love you guys.
There were suggestions that were like, I should destroy movies and never be allowed to watch them in my entire life. That's insane.
I like that idea.
That is insane.
The best thing is, by people giving those ideas, my punishments seem a lot more reasonable.
Yeah, true. Have we settled on a punishment for this year? Is it the anime thing?
I think it was the anime thing.
Okay. Amanda tweeted us saying, pudding is something different in the US. It is a very specific type of dessert of its own. Did you
read this out last time?
No. Did I? I don't know. You edited the episode.
Yeah, I think you might have.
Are you sure? No, because our New Year episode came out on January the 16th. And this tweet came in on January the 16th.
Oh.
So yeah, there's no... We must have discussed pudding in the last episode.
Weird.
Alright, you can cut all that and I'll start reading again.
No, I'm alright.
So Amanda tweeted us saying, pudding is something different in the US. It's a very specific kind of dessert.
Didn't she tweet us that last week?
Of its own. It comes in many flavours, but chocolate and tapioca are my favourites.
Tapioca.
That's not how that word reads in my head.
Tapioca?
The fuck is tapioca?
It's like a... I don't know how to describe it.
Genuinely haven't encountered that word before.
Have you not?
No.
It's a thing.
You know what I'm like with words. I say what I see, and when I see...
I do that.
When I see that, I don't see...
Tapioca.
Yeah. Frankie also tweeted us, @BristFrankie, saying, train announcement happening when I was listening to the podcast made me think Liam said the Christmas Eve tradition with his mum was to go to the local medium, not local Indian. Have to admit, I was a little disappointed when I realised I'd misheard it. And I feel like that is an amazing idea of like every year just taking my mum to a medium and be like, let's just check in on the family that are all dead.
Oh, God. Yep.
Amazing. Okay, we did top 5s last episode. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Amanda tweeted saying, enjoyed hearing your top 5s.
How long we've been recording.
Don't worry about it. Enjoyed hearing your top 5s. I'll likely be watching a lot of your TV list when I'm recovering from surgery and can't do much else. Also, I am one of those feminists who was rage-filled over the fridging of Vanessa in Deadpool 2. Instantly knocked the movie down for me.
Fair.
And I tweeted her back and forward a little bit about that. Just because I was like, I'm not sure if I explained what fridging was right. And she kind of said, it's hard to explain it briefly. Okay. Tom Hogan @the Tomothy tweeted us saying, hope there's a yearly review. Bloody love those yearly reviews.
Yep, Tom had already listened to the episode. I'm not going to fall for these tricks, Thomas.
What?
In the episode, I think we talk about who likes the yearly reviews, and then you were very much like, Tom loves them, so he tweeted for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like that I'm being portrayed.
Or as the negative Nelly of the podcast, where if the shoe fits...
You're the negative one.
I'm not. You're the one that's always like, oh, look how long we've been recording. Oh, no one likes our top 5.
Listeners, it takes me twice as long to edit a podcast as it takes us to record it. So as I watch this number just slowly rise, I'm just sitting there going, yep, cool. I've got to do a bunch of stuff for work and our LGBT group this weekend. That's slowly getting pushed further and further out of the wheelhouse of us doing it. So I'll have to go in on Monday and say, sorry guys, I couldn't do that because my mate Liam decided we were going to do a 3-hour fucking podcast.
Yeah, and then they'll go, oh, what's your podcast? Boom, more listeners. Worth it.
Fucking hell. Carry on.
Amanda tweeted us saying, sorry about the series recommendations that have a ton of movies. I was focused on the 5 or more movies. Didn't realise you couldn't break it up over a few days. Bond would be fun to hear, but you'd probably need a week or so. Oops.
Are you sure we haven't talked about this?
The episode... We tweeted about it on January the 16th. These tweets came in on January the 17th.
It's wild, though, because me and you have definitely spoken about this.
We spoke on the episode about how Amanda was giving us really long series.
No, but I've specifically, we've definitely spoken about some of this.
No.
Yeah,
okay.
We have.
Well, what, offline?
Not on the podcast, maybe, I'm saying, but I've definitely... Because I remember I don't know. Carry on.
I mean, you're the one that spends so long editing these, so you would have heard us talking about this on the last episode.
Yeah, which is why it worries me that I'm sitting there going, I think I've heard all this before.
Nah. Amanda tweeted, oh, and here's a book recommendation for Culture Swap. Night Film by Marisha Pesce, I think. I like the idea of hearing you both discuss a book. This is one I think you both would like / find a lot in it to discuss.
Add it to the list.
I then tweeted you saying if we have a list, add it to it. So that was an action on you to use my project management speak.
I'm an editor. That's not my job.
Don't care. CageClub Pod tweeted us. I love this tweet saying, Liam, you're like the British. Let me say that again where I speak right. Liam, you're like the British Paul Scheer, enduring unimaginable garbage for one podcast while enjoying classics for another. This is because of the whole Asylum and Criterion Connection podcast. For anyone that doesn't know, Paul Scheer, he was in the League. That's where I'm primarily known from. He does a podcast called How Did This Get Made, where he talks about films like The Room, Leprechaun 4. It's a great podcast. And then he's also doing a podcast where he goes through, I think it's the AFI's top 100 films.
Okay.
So similar.
Yeah, got you. Because you're having to suffer through Criterion.
Yeah.
But then you're having like this downtime where you get to enjoy a really good film with Into the Asylum.
I mean, yeah, we'll see about that.
It's alright, mate. Whatever you say, I'm not listening anymore. I turned you off the moment I said that. It's all good.
That's all of our correspondence.
Also, why are you getting all the praise? Whatever. Liam loves doing the housekeeping when he gets a load of praise. It's such a petty little thing.
Oh wait, I do think I think that there was a tweet from Amanda that I haven't read yet. Let me just find it because I think it is important that I read it.
Oh, is it going to be some bullshit about how you're so great?
No. Quite the opposite.
Is it her saying you're shit?
Well,
that seems really mean.
Let me just hang on. I'm trying to just find.
The thing I like about Nerd on Nerd is that we're a smooth running operation.
Yeah, we are. Well, you can edit all this out, can't you?
I won't, because I find it funny when we call out our lame bullshit.
I can't find it now. Basically, Amanda tweeted us being like, she felt like she had to make a statement that she likes us both equally.
Oh, I remember that, because I sort of vaguely remember you telling me about it. Again, I'm going to go back and listen to the last episode, and if we mention all this shit, I'm going to be very annoyed. Even though it would be physically impossible for us to have. We must have had a conversation, me and you, about some of these tweets.
Yeah, because I feel like I said, I tweeted saying our episode is here on like January the 16th, and then these tweets have all come in after that.
Yeah.
So maybe the Amanda tweet was from before, where she said...
Possibly. Let's just move on. You can't find it, buddy. I think we joked about it. I think we joked on an episode. I'm sure. Because I'm sure I was like, oh, don't worry, Amanda, we know. I just enjoy that it winds her up.
So yeah, that was everything that we had from housekeeping.